it's out of our control, obviously. We've had to deal with that earlier this year with Halstead going down with the ACL and then now Hart. But there's nothing we can do about it. All we have to do is just deal with it, and we're definitely going to have some guys step up. And so far, since Hart's been out and since Halstead's been out, we've had guys like the first guy that comes to mind is Efros. He's been pitching a lot of innings without a whole lot of rest, but he's got a rubber arm. I mean, he can do it for us, and he's got the mentality to where he'll pitch whenever and no matter how sore his arm is. And then also Belcher, I mean, he's been holding it down out of the pen for us, and we have a bunch of other guys that can do that as well.
Who do you think are some of those other guys? I mean, obviously, I don't know if you can add much more onto what Scotty's already doing. Somebody else is going to have a bigger workload. Who are some of the guys you look to and say, okay, that's the guy that can help us get through this?
Luke Harrison, he's been huge for us. I mean, his past 2 outings, I think he's gone 3 or 4 innings with probably like 8 strikeouts, and he's been locating his curveball and his fastball, which has been working out. And besides Luke, honestly, I feel like every single person in our staff has the ability to contribute seriously in all kinds of ways.
Obviously there's a lot of talk about Will about after Sunday, basically, as the guy who's kind of the elder statesman on that group. What do you kind of do just to get his head right, basically? And obviously he's got the stuff and he knows that, but how do you kind of get it across to him? Hey, you can still do this.
Yeah, I mean, I've gone through that as well, and one of the things that's hard to get through your mind when you're in that kind of situation is you have to realize that you're good. Like, the reason you're playing here at Indiana is because you're a good pitcher, and I think sometimes he might be too nitpicky with some pitches, which might be why he's walking some guys and lacking control. But sometimes you have to realize, hey, if I throw this pitch down the middle 7 out of 10 times, the guy's going to get out, and you might want to play against the odds right there and take your chances of I'm just going to throw a strike because I don't want to get this guy on first base on a free pass.
What do you mean by nitpicking?
It's instead of just trying to aim for like an area in the zone, he's probably trying to paint the black, make every pitch as perfect as it can be. And there are certain counts when you have to do that. If it's 0-2, 1-2, as a pitcher, you want to make the perfect pitch. You don't want to give the batter a chance to get on base with 2 strikes on him because the pressure's supposed to be on him. So he might be trying to make those perfect pitches in situations or counts where generally you want to throw it in the area, not specifically in the exact spot.
Okay, makes sense.
Joey, during the winning streak, obviously the pitching was there, but the offense, showed up every game. Just how big was that for you guys during all those wins?
Yeah, that was huge, and it was great to see because we've been waiting for that for a while. And we were crushing the ball, and every single guy had great at bats and confidence when they were entering the box. And I think when both the pitching and the defense and hitting click together, I think that we'll win a lot of games that way.
It kind of seemed like the team that played last year with really everything clicking together. Is that what you guys felt like these past couple games?
That's the first time all year that I felt like we've reached that point to where we were at last year in 2013 towards the end of the season.
9-game homestand. Obviously, it's important to get all these wins. Just talk about your pitching, though. How comfortable are you when you're out there pitching at Bart Kaufman Field?
I love it. Last year was the first time pitching on the turf mound, whatever. But, I like pitching here. The fans are great. The atmosphere is always fun, but also, it has a little bit to do with confidence. You get the momentum rolling, and you take that momentum out onto the mound as well.
Just speaking of the loss yesterday, it seemed like it was a different mentality after the Michigan loss, considering, you guys really hung in there till the end. Was that the case?
I think, that had something to do with it because we never showed any chinks in our armor or anything like that. I think the difference between that loss and the Michigan loss was that at the time during the Michigan loss, we weren't playing our kind of baseball. And I think that the loss against Moorhead on Sunday, we actually were. We were playing good baseball, just didn't fall our way. And they got lucky with a few things, and some balls didn't fall our way. But we were still hitting the ball well. We weren't necessarily pitching it well, but at least the bats were still there, and we made it close in the 9th inning when we were still down by, I think, like 5.
Mm-hmm. Just previewing this week, how big is it for you guys, 3 games against a tough Michigan State team?
Yeah, they're good competition. Every single year they've brought their A game against us. Last year they had 3 walk-offs against us, so kind of left a bitter taste in our mouth, and this weekend's going to be huge, especially since it's Big Ten play. I think we're in first place in the Big Ten right now, so we want to maintain that ranking, and we want to give it to them this weekend.